Allison here with 5 Minutes to Thrive, bringing you tips and advice on using creativity and fiction and yoga and different things that can help you thrive even if you are not a creative, a writer, a yogi, etc. All of these things can help you thrive if you find the right ways to utilize them, even if you don't usually practice any of them. So these tips are all going to be around different ways to use those things to thrive in life. Today I want to talk about imposter syndrome and how it affects us, and actually I kind of want to change the name of it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're an artist, if you're a writer, you're probably super familiar with imposter syndrome, but it's not only something that impacts creatives, it impacts everyone probably at one point in their life, which is why I wanted to talk about it. So if you want to define it, I think everybody knows what it is, but imposter syndrome, it says on the interwebs here, refers to an internal experience of believing you are not as competent as others perceive you to be. That's good. It means other people perceive you to be competent, right? But if you don't believe it, that's not a good thing. The other part of that I wanted to point out is the syndrome part of it. A group of symptoms with which consistently occur together, or a condition characterized by those symptoms. So a syndrome is a condition. So when you're saying that you have a syndrome, you're saying you have a condition, and that is something that sticks with you that you can't get rid of. So when we're saying we have imposter syndrome, we're giving it a lot of power. We're telling it this is a syndrome, we're stuck with it. It's basically like a sickness. It's really hard to beat something like that. So I wanted to put this out there, throw the idea at you that maybe we should rename it imposter tendencies. So when you have imposter tendencies, every now and then, you're gonna feel like an imposter. You have a tendency to worry that people don't believe in you, that worry that people don't see you, perceive you as competent. And that's okay, because it's just a tendency. It happens every now and then. A tendency is much easier to beat and push past than a syndrome. So whenever you're thinking, I have imposter syndrome, I want you to start thinking about it in terms of I have imposter tendencies. I have a tendency to sometimes think this, but it's not true. So I'm going to push past it and just be confident and be as competent as people see me. I think when we name things, obviously we give them a lot of power, and the name will give it a lot of power. So if you say I am an imposter, that's a whole different thing. You're gonna feel like an imposter, and that's never gonna go away. So if you say I have imposter tendencies, or I have the tendency to feel like an imposter, rather than even I have, don't give it to yourself. Don't say I have imposter syndrome. I don't have this thing. It doesn't belong to me. I am an imposter means the same thing. So try saying occasionally I have imposter tendencies. And maybe that will just help you reframe your brain, look at things in a different way, and maybe start to push past that imposter feeling that sometimes starts to sneak in. So that's my challenge to all of you today. The next time you're thinking about imposter syndrome, change the name, call it imposter tendencies, and see how that kind of impacts the way you think about it and the way it makes you feel. So these videos are all promised to be about 5 minutes or less, so that is my time today. I thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe or make sure you're following my newsletter. All these links are below. Join my group where we will be talking about ideas like this more in depth, and that group is 3 to 5. Again, all links are below. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.